program. I'm Monica Shai, Director of the American Center. Thank you so much for logging on tonight. We are here with our Global Links program, Empowering Women and Entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to welcome everyone, and particularly I would like to welcome our Global Links colleagues. We have here Dr. Mary Conway Dato-On, who's the visionary behind this program. So she's there with that beautiful background. We also have two professors here who have been with the program quite some time, Dr. Rumpa Chakraborty and Dr. Sharmisha Banerjee. Thank you for all of your work with this program. And we're so happy to have with us the ASSOCHAM Director, Parminder Kaur. Thank you for joining us, and all of the change makers who are here for this program tonight. We're so happy to have you here, and we are very excited about the launch of the Entrepreneurship Handbook, which is happening tonight. We have our Consul General with us from Consulate General Kolkata. She's here now and will give the opening remarks. I'd like to turn it over to her, Patty Hoffman, Consul General.
Thanks, Monica. Hi, everybody. Good evening, and I guess good morning for our U.S. participants. It's a pleasure to be here this evening with you and the Global Links India alumni team again. It's been a privilege to witness your progress during my time in Kolkata, and it's encouraging to see how fruitful the program has been, and today is really no exception. I'd like to congratulate everyone involved in the publication of the handbook, Building Blocks of My Small Business. It's quite an achievement, and very exciting to be here tonight for it. So around the world, we have seen how even modest investments in the abilities and potential of women and girls yield really transformative results. And these investments affect not just women and girls themselves, but also their families and communities. And the Global Links program serves as a great example of how governments and the private sector and academic institutions and business people across the board can work together to serve communities. And this program has catalyzed women's economic empowerment and entrepreneurship in India by creating a coalition that directly benefits both women who own small businesses and the business students at local academic institutions. One of the U.S. Consulate's goals in Eastern India is to support women-led businesses, and we support a number of entrepreneurship-related programs and initiatives throughout our region and our district. Before the pandemic lockdown, we organized pitch sessions, boot camps, and mentoring programs across Eastern India. Now, under the lockdown in these challenging times, we continue to support entrepreneurs through online programs and mentoring, offering ideas about how to sustain businesses under the current restrictions. We're operating under new guidelines. We recently held two extremely popular webinars as part of our Breaking the Glass Ceiling project. And you can follow all of our online programming on our social media platforms for information about upcoming programs that we post there. Global Links is, of course, an important part of these efforts, and we would like to thank everyone who makes the program so successful. Dr. Mary Conway Dato-On, who's from Rollins College, is the visionary behind the Global Links project, and we owe her a debt of gratitude. Here in Kolkata, we have Dr. Sharmisha Banerjee, who is a trailblazer, along with Dr. Rumpa Chakraborty, both of whom are integral to the local success of this program here in the city. We thank them for their continued support and guidance to all of the participants. Many thanks also to Parminder Kaur of ASSOCHAM for her time in supporting the event and being with us tonight. And I hope the business leaders and other participants who have joined us today for the e-release of the handbook, Building Blocks of My Small Business, will find it a helpful resource to share with women entrepreneurs across India, Eastern India. So congratulations, and thank you once again to all the participants and all your hard work in bringing this handbook to fruition. And thank you for allowing me to join you tonight in this celebratory evening. Thank you.
I think we're going over to Dr. Rumpa Chakraborty. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you, Consul General Patty Hoffman, and good morning to all of you from United States, and very good evening to all from Kolkata, India. Today I would like to give you some overview and some highlights on the Global Links program. Global Links is a cross-cultural exchange program designed to empower women through education and entrepreneurship while strengthening the entrepreneurial ecosystem in developing countries. We have used train the trainer model to achieve the perfect goal of the Global Links. Global Links is a public-private partnership program among the Kramer Graduate School of Business at Rollins College in Orlando, Florida, USA, US State Secretary's Office of Global Women Issues, and financial sponsors are from industry and foundations. As a Global Link scholar, I have been able to achieve social entrepreneurship education in the United States. And while coming back from United States, I started training my students and to transform them from student volunteers to change makers who worked hand in hand with local female entrepreneurs with specifically three deliverables. Number one, their empowerment. Number two, the business development. And thirdly, if there is any social and environmental issues, they try to solve those problems. The program has an immense success all over the world, and its impact in Kolkata, we have all seen throughout the years. As you can see that from the slide, if you see that there are two scholars from Kolkata. The 2015 scholar, Dr. Sharmishta Banerjee, and me as the 2017 Global Link scholars have got the opportunity to lead this prestigious program. Due to the grand success of these two cycles of Global Links in Kolkata, in the year 2019, Global Links Alumni Connect has been launched with the support from the Consulate Office in Kolkata. So we have a very good team, which is also showing in the slide that the whole team of our Global Links Alumni Connect, some of whom will be joining us today to tell us about the Global Links program, its achievements, its Hello.
Okay, we can hear you again.
Okay. The Alumni Connect is actually an extension program of the main Global Links program to continue its momentum by creating more and more new change makers who has started mentoring more female local entrepreneurs with a objective or a view to handle their business and help them, and also guided them how to get a structured and organized business model. So now I would like to hand over to Dr. Sharmishta Banerjee, who is going to introduce the handbook we have thought of to prepare after giving them a structured business model, and also she will give us an overview of its contents.
Thank you, Dr. Chakraborty. As you have mentioned, Global Links really has been an incredible program. It transcends all possible stakeholders to include everyone together in the small business ecosystem. Originally initiated as a trainer-trainer program, the faculty from India were trained in the United States, and they in turn trained students in their respective institutions. Now, these students today who are the Global Links alumni, they have now donned the hat of trainers for the small business women entrepreneurs. They are the change makers, some of them with the title of change makers for their exemplary role in the Global Links program. They have enriched themselves and have also understood that there are certain identified needs in the business which call for support and intervention. Their experiences motivated the Global Links alumni to carry forward their learnings so that it went beyond the program period. Thus came up this idea of the collection of takeaways for the entrepreneurs in the form of this handbook, Building Blocks of Small Business. It has been written like the story of a young girl who is going to start her business, and her friend advises her, guides her on how to take the business forward, make it grow, and sustain the activities. So it is more like a storybook. Now, developing the business of these entrepreneurs was the overarching objective of the Global Links Student Entrepreneur Exchange. In their journey, the Global Links participants realized that a lot of what is taught in the business classroom does not translate to the real life for the entrepreneurs to have a lasting impact. Thus developed the idea of this book, which is going to be launched today. Another thought that came up while we were brainstorming on the ideas of the handbook content, that there are a couple of lot of available books. But those books usually cater to the entrepreneur who has an MBA. So not many simple, relevant books are available for the entrepreneurs who do not have the formal education. Thus, this handbook came about with a niche user segment in mind. One of the most important challenges that these entrepreneurs face is documentation. In India, as many of us know, there are different kinds of documents that one business entrepreneur uses. And that could be the proof of the business, the trade license, the Aadhaar card as proof of address, the GST certificate, the tax, the PAN card. So this entrepreneur is totally confused about the kind of documents that he would need, a combination of which is required for the business. There isn't a single window scheme in India where the businesswoman can access all her requirements. Therefore, this handbook is a way forward, it's like a ready reckoner for a businesswoman. In addition, these small businesses that we find most women have started their businesses with their own or family funds. Very often, as they proceed in the business, they are unable to bifurcate between own funds and loan funds, to differentiate between revenue and profit, because accounting, formalization of accounts is not mandatory for sole owner businesses. As a result, the cash cycle, the profit cycle are all a bit confused for the entrepreneur. So this business handbook gives some pictorial illustrations about how the businesswoman or the business person can distinguish between her profits, cash, capital, own capital, etc. So it is a made easy pictorial way of handling accounts. Now, this book gives us the opportunity to disseminate this idea among the small businesses. This e-launch is an opportunity the Global Links team is thankful for. The Global Links team in US and Kolkata has joined together today to be grateful to the American Center Kolkata and of course the Office of Consul General USA in Kolkata. So we hope this handbook will be of practical use for the small business entrepreneurs as well as the participants in today's event will help us publicize the event and make it accessible for the women who actually need it. It can be circulated because we will have some hard copies that can be distributed to the ecosystem partners through the American Center or through the ASOCHAM. In addition, it can be accessed without any charges through the Global Links website, which is globallinksus.com under the India tab. Going forward, to give more wider utility to the entrepreneurs, this book will be translated in vernacular to start with. Since the main transactions and accounting purposes in India are in English, so part of the book will be used for every businesswoman. But specific areas requiring an understanding and action plans for customer dealing, for employee relationships will be translated in vernacular to make it more purposeful. This is basically a pedagogical contribution. The English version itself will be useful for women in the Northeast states of India and also for students who are hand-holding so that there is a systemic change in the mentoring of business women. I will call upon the Global Links alumni who are here today to share their experiences in creating this. Shantari, if you are here, I hope you can hear me. What was your most impressionable experience in Global Links that led you think about this book? I hope Shantari can hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, there she is.
Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. Good evening, everyone, and a good morning to the US team. I am really grateful to Global Links for so many reasons, and it's very hard to sum it up. But in a nutshell, Global Links has been a self-transformative journey. I have had the opportunity to work with exceptional women all over the world, building a chain of confidence and impacting societies. I have also learned the importance of both theoretical and practical knowledge and how they are complementary forces. While working in phase two, every entrepreneur faced several challenges. Two or three issues in particular were evident. For example, digital marketing and building customer relationships. Social media is such an accessible and important platform in today's world, and effectively accessing it can open a business to a whole new set of possibilities and audience. In order to expand a business and create a name of its own, customers play a really key role. Effective utilization of these factors are issues that volunteers and students have learned in their business studies classroom, but these solutions do not reach the entrepreneurs who really need them. This handbook is a collective effort to provide guidance to small-scale women entrepreneurs to progress ahead in their business journeys and be self-sustainable. I would request Sangeeta Di to tell us about her student volunteer and how she helped her with digital marketing and customer relationship. Also, how the ideas of the handbook might help other entrepreneurs just like her. Thank you.
Hi, good morning and good evening to both of all. Sanjari has rightly said that this handbook will be very helpful to potential entrepreneur like at this help to me. In my business, Sunny Solution, which deals with the solar product, I mainly face the problem of digital marketing. My student volunteer, Uttara Sen, helped me to strategically place my post and increase the number of forms by business and registered it. Soon with the help of the forums like Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, people started recognize and showing interest in my business and my work. There was a significant rise in the statistics of the number of people my post reached to. The part of the handbook overthink is the time management. It's also helpful to me also. From a long time, I have been waiting to expand my business. So for that, knowing what my customer want and is very important. And this handbook guides us not only to build a relationship, but it's important to maintain and improve new and existing customer relationship, by which I can serve them in the best possible way. Overall, I think this handbook covers all the important topics from starting a business to sustain it, and will be proved to very useful into different scale and types of businesses. Now, I will request Anisha to share some other problems faced by majority of the small business like us.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sangeeta, for your appreciation. We are really glad that you found the handbook so useful. Now, when we started visiting the entrepreneurs and we started getting the first-hand knowledge about the businesses, we found out that most of the businesses lacked the basic documentation, both in terms of the business documents as well as the personal documents. Business documents such as Aadhaar card of Udyog Aadhaar of the business, GST registration, PAN card of the business, and trade license as well. Personal documents such as the PAN card of the individual, Aadhaar card, and so on. Now, we all know that without proper documentation, it is just not possible to procure capital or apply for loans from different sources. Also, it is not possible to, participate in different fairs, international as well as national fairs and exhibitions. So, keeping this in mind, we try to pictorially explain all the related documents because pictorial representation makes data more easily understandable. So we try to pictorially explain all the related documents. We also provided the official links to apply for these documents so that the entrepreneurs are not misled or unnecessarily charged. We've also given a step-by-step detailed process of each and every document so that it is easy for the entrepreneurs to follow them. Now, not only the documentation part, we've also focused on several other topics as well. Now, I would ask Surbhi to give a greater insight of the operational problems such as the cash crunch and inventory management faced by these small businesses. Over to you, Surbhi.
Thank you, Anisha. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So apart from documentation, we also identified two major shortcomings of these small businesses, which were problem of liquid cash and inventory mismanagement as well. So problems like too much selling on credit and bad debt reoccurrence, goods becoming obsolete due to disorganized selling and lack of working capital had to be addressed. So we worked hands-on with these entrepreneurs for 8 to 10 months and solved all of these problems. But we had to make sure that other entrepreneurs do not face similar problems as well. So we included these problems as well as their solutions into the handbook. We do not want to be able to solve all of their problems. Instead, we want them to be self-reliant so that they're able to solve these problems by themselves. So this handbook is a small step towards making them self-reliant and self-sustainable. And we're hoping that all budding entrepreneurs will use this as a guide to stabilize their businesses. And we've explained all academic concepts like LIFO, FIFO, and cash flow in a very lucid manner so that it is very easy for entrepreneurs from all academic backgrounds to interpret it and implement these ideas into their businesses. And throughout this journey, I would really like to thank the support and motivation given by Anushree ma'am and Roompa ma'am, and of course, Dr. Banerjee for her constant motivation and support and for being a pillar of strength for all of us. We conducted a pilot survey to get the feedback of the handbook. So I'd request Shomadi of Econom Handicrafts to please share her views about the handbook. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and I am grateful to Global Links for the exposure it has given to me. This handbook is a wonderful initiative
to guide all entrepreneurs, especially those who are new in business. I really like the step-by-step procedure for loan application, the concept of inventory management given in the handbook, and all
Shoma,
and
please continue, Shoma.
Shoma, will you try to repeat, please?
yes.
I'm having trouble hearing Shoma. Can anyone else hear Shoma?
No, she's not audible. I think she must be having some connectivity problems. Could we maybe go on to the next speaker?
Thank you. I will take up where Shoma left possibly, because what little I heard from her, she was trying to say that Global Links has given her an exposure, and she thinks that this kind of books will give more connections to other entrepreneurs with the Global Links program, so that everyone can get the same kind of help that she got. So that is what little bits of pieces that I heard. So we have to conclude this part of the interaction between the entrepreneurs and our Global Links change makers. So thank you so much, Sangita and Shoma, and all the change makers who discussed this, who made this handbook possible, and also for all our alumni who have logged in. I would like to introduce here Dr. Mary Conway-Datuan, who has really been appropriately called the visionary behind the program. Officially, she is the faculty director of the Global Links program, Rollins College. She's also the George D. and Harriet W. Cornell Professor of National Business and Social Entrepreneurship. I would ask Dr. Conway to please discuss the future of the Global Links program, because if the handbook is just the beginning of a long innings that Global Links wishes to go. Dr. Conway, please.
Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. And I hope that folks have been able to see the slide share, and I apologize if my lack of technological expertise has prohibited that from happening. I want to again say thank you to the incredible support that we have received from the American Center and the U.S. Consulate Office in Calcutta. It has really helped us to launch the program and to form the really strong base that you see as a result of the 2019 program. If I look at Global Links since its inception in Iraq, I also want to comment that we have had the tremendous support and really the true visionary for this program. One person who's joining us today, Eleanor Steele, and the other person is Rick Goings. And I'm going to connect back to Rick Goings when I talk about the future of Global Links. So far, our impact across the 3 countries that we are in, starting with Iraq, moving to India for the 2 scholars that you've met, and currently in Brazil, we've impacted over 6,000 individuals. The beauty of that impact is the various stakeholders or the ecosystem players that have been impacted. So you see on the slide, 5,000 students, faculty and staff, community members, and over 150 female entrepreneurs in these 3 countries have advanced their business, have advanced their understanding of the social and environmental impact of their business, and many of those women have increased their own empowerment in their business and in their communities. particularly in India. I'm showing a few slides of the work that the students have done. And I really want to emphasize this. You heard from our mentors. It is the students who are in the field doing the work. Under Dr. Banerjee and under, sorry, I don't know how that happened. Under Dr. Banerjee and under Dr. Chakraborty, we've mentored female entrepreneurs in developing accounting systems, handling product waste, identification of growth opportunities for their business, including some new products, which you see in the upper right photo. One of our initial Global Links change makers, Shradipta, holding some new products she helped her entrepreneur develop. We've spoken a lot about filing of licensing and registration. In the bottom left corner of the photos, you see there Shurabi, who was our 2019 mentor, helping her entrepreneur learn to sign her name and learn some basic English to help advance her business. And of course, you heard Anisha talk about implementing social media channels, and Sangeeta from the entrepreneur from Sunny Solutions to speak about how working with the media channels has helped her business. As we look forward for next steps, I want to reconnect to the person I mentioned, Mr. Rick Goings. He has been truly the impetus behind this. He came to us at the Crummer Graduate School of Business, Rollins College, together with our alum, Eleanor Steele, and brought the idea for this program. His belief in empowering women is carrying the program forward for the next 5 years. So his foundation, the Rick and Susan Goings Foundation, will become the primary sponsor for Global Links moving forward. And with that investment and with the strong foundation that we have established in India, doesn't mean we will stop working in India. We will continue to work there, and we'll take the work forward into Latin America. So you saw our first scholar from Brazil, Dr. Denise Del Boni, and we are in the process of recruiting our second scholar from Brazil. Even with the difficult times that all of us are facing right now with the global pandemic, we are continuing to work and try to make these connections, not only online as we are doing today, but in face-to-face as well. So we will grow the program reach through the organizational partnerships, right? And here's a planned, I want to emphasize the word plan because we are in this rather unpredictable time, but this is our planned expansion through the LATAM, the Latin American region. Moving on to Brazil, 2 more scholars from Brazil, then moving to Mexico, 2 scholars from Mexico, 3, and then we move to Mexico and Colombia. So we'll have 3 scholars from Mexico and then 3 scholars from Colombia. So the very humble work that we do really does impact people here in the United States, there in India, and now we're moving that impact across Latin America. So again, I thank all of our sponsors, including the Rick and Susan Goings Foundation, Rollins College, Crummer Graduate School of Business, as well as the American Chamber of Commerce, the US Consulate in Calcutta. With that, I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Banerjee, and she's going to connect us to our next speaker. Dr. Banerjee? Dr. Banerjee, are you able to connect?
She's on mute, I think. I think she's muted.
Can you unmute yourself? There we go. Thank you, Dr. Banerjee.
Thank you, Dr. Conway. And now I have the pleasure to introduce Parminder Kaur, Director, East India, Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry in India, very popularly known as ASSOCHAM. The way forward for women entrepreneurship is going to be set forth by Parminder Kaur, and we have great hopes that this handbook will be popularized.
Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. The last bit I couldn't follow, but thank you for welcoming me on board. Good morning, team from US, and good evening, friends in India. It is indeed a privilege and an honor for me to be here among all of you. This book is certainly going to be of tremendous value to women entrepreneurs, startups across the board. because the biggest challenge which anyone finds themselves is, when they want to start, the initial hiccup is that how to get the resources right, from where to get the reliable information. So it is wonderful that such a lovely book has been well thought and created, which in one go can give a small business or a startup a clear guideline as to how to start, from where to get the necessary permissions, and as they move forward, what are the challenges which they may face. So it is really a well thought book. I must congratulate the whole team on creating a book like this. I think it's much needed. I wish there were other agencies who should have thought of this and done it. There's thing in piecemeal, but this is a comprehensive one. So yes, thank you very much for this. And now moving forward, what I'll just take a little time to say that, see, when anyone is thinking of a business, there are certain challenges. One is that there's no clarity and there's no clear direction. So first challenge is that what precisely the resources which are available to you, how well you connect with them, how do you get access to the mentors who can guide you, who can handhold you. So these are some of the initial things. And once slowly, if you pass through this phase and come to the stage where you have a product or a service and you are ready to move to the world, then you have the challenges how to connect to those who need it, or how to reach to your right customer base, or your business clients, how to build relationship with them, how to market your product, how to negotiate, how to talk about communication. Everything in comes into that. And once you are taking steps in that direction, then you have to manage your own production capabilities, your vendor management, your balance sheets, your partners, your associates, your raw material. So the journey of an entrepreneur is exciting as well as full of challenges, because at every stage, the entrepreneur has to learn, has to motivate himself or herself, and also handhold the entire team who's seeing him as a leader. So it's not an easy task being an entrepreneur or being a business owner. It's quite a difficult and a challenging task and demands a lot of your time and energy. Now, once you pass through this stage, then you have others which may come in form of competition, or challenges such as environmental challenges, the one which we are seeing now. Global pandemic is there. So how do you handle these kind of situation? So these are the various things where the entrepreneur has to think, provision, and a book or a guide or a mentor in this form certainly would help an entrepreneur take care of some of the issues. Now, going forward, my thoughts are that for an entrepreneur, it is important to adopt digital technology. Digitalization is the way forward. E-commerce is the way forward. So it is very important that you upskill yourself, adapt the technology, and you have to use digital technology to the maximum possible way to have your presence felt and reach out to your customers or reach out to your business prospective clients of yours, so that you are able to grow. And the biggest advantage certainly with the digital technology is that the world is one. So it's not that you're just looking physically for Kolkata customers or maybe India customers. Suddenly the base increases. Of course, it comes with its own challenges, but then yes, your consumer base increases. You are suddenly visible to world over audiences. So if you are an organization or a small business which is making handmade items, or you are a small organization which is making some cosmetic products out of the indigenous products which are available in your locality, you have an opportunity to present it to the World Forum. So that's the biggest advantage. In one go, you are crossing over multiple channels which might have, or multiple hurdles which might have come your way. So digitization, I think, is the way forward for the woman entrepreneur. The sooner they adapt to this technology, the beneficiary of this will they be. So I think that's something I would like to really say and talk about. Thank you, Dr. Sharmishta. And I think this book is a wonderful thing, and we would certainly do our best to ensure that everybody gets access to this book. Thank you. Thank you. Over back to Dr. Sharmishta, to you, please.
Dr. Chakraborty, will you handle the questions, please? Dr. Chakraborty, can you hear us?
Hello, am I audible? So thank you, Dr. Banerjee. And we have got few questions. Some of our like, it seems all government help is going for larger businesses. In these scenario, women run small businesses might not survive. How to keep going in these times? I'd request Dr. Banerjee, will you please take this question?
Well, I think all small business have challenges, and in today's times, since we are talking of COVID and only COVID, the small businesses are even more challenged than the big businesses, because the buffer in terms of cash or in terms of inventory is already threatened. But what I do not understand is us women small business is even more threatened, because all over in terms of whenever there is a disaster, it is the woman in the household, the woman in the business who has to sacrifice the most. So many women are losing jobs. Many women are giving up jobs. So that is the most precarious condition. But here I look at another brighter side to the situation. When women are losing jobs, this is the time that they can use their talent, their untapped skills to start something small and take up small businesses, which is very much there in urban areas. A lot of women are losing jobs. So this is possibly the colored line, the colorful lining of a dark cloud, that they can start thinking of small businesses. But yes, we as teachers and as civil society leaders, people have large roles to play in motivating women. I think that goes somewhat like an answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. There is a direct question for Dr. Conway from Atin Basu. It is, empowering women entrepreneurs has far-reaching consequences. It reduces civil conflict. Can you please elaborate on this?
Thank you for the question. I think there's two ways to look at that. First of all, the question is very astute, and I thank you for asking it. When we have peace at home, it is easier to have peace in our societies. And when we have peace in our societies, it's easier to have peace in the world. So I think your question is very much true. When we look, and if I connect back again to the incredible words and thoughts of the initiatives that Rick Goings and Eleanor Steele, and at that time when Rick was CEO of Tupperware Brands, was the he for she. And that is the idea that while we are focused on empowering women, many of our change makers are in fact men. And so we are working together. It is not women over men, it is women with men and men with women. And when we have that peace and that support at home and that mutual belief in each other, and we see the skills and resources that are available to the women and the men, then together we can make a difference. And that's why many of the change makers and the volunteers, when they went out into the field and they met these women, often the conversations were about their own empowerment, their connection to their family members, including their spouses, right? To think of themselves as a team and to advance as a team. So I hope that gives a little bit of the philosophy of Global Links, from a general position, I think we have many more learned people online who can speak specifically to the Indian situation if that is appropriate. Thank you, Dr. Chakraborty.
Thank you, Dr. Conway. We are getting another question. How to strengthen women-run micro businesses in this uncertain times? I think already Dr. Banerjee has given an answer to it, but Dr. Banerjee, will you please like to take up it again and give some few highlights?
Well, as far as if question says how to strengthen, there is a big impetus from the government of India, which is focused directly to small businesses. So this is an opportunity that small businesses could exploit the situation, leverage the challenges that have come about through Corona, and that especially useful, make use of the grants and the support that small business has been receiving.
Dr. Chakraborty?
Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. Is anyone wants to? Hello,
Dr. Chakraborty, if I may.
Hello. Yes.
Can you hear me? I would like to pose that question, if we may, also to our guest from the chamber, because part of Global Links is the idea of an ecosystem. And we've been talking to the professors, but since we have the chamber here who works with many businesses, if she is willing, could we ask her to also speak to your question?
Yeah, sure. I'll be gladly happy to assist further to what Dr. Banerjee has said. There are several schemes which are directly thought of by the government of India and by the respective state governments, which are here to support women entrepreneur and the small businesses. I would request the members who are interested to know about such scheme to visit the website of Government of India, Ministry of MSME. There are institutes in Kolkata, if you're specifically talking about Kolkata. There are two government bodies, one is called NSIC, another is MSME DI. I can be reached individually to pass on the details of these organizations to you. These organizations specializes in supporting small businesses, and they not only give you training, they also help you in understanding the financial requirement and help you connect with the financial institution where you can take your funding support. So these are the organization you can always approach as far as the government support is concerned. Apart from this, as Dr. Sharmishra has said, there are several institutions, bodies, and even CSR funds of large organizations through foundations, which are available in terms of grants or specific support. So you can look at those. However, the government channel is far more easy and readily available. So I think that's something which you should look for. Thank you.
Thank you, Parminderjit Kaur, for giving us some inputs on how we can strengthen micro businesses. Thank you very much. Now, is there any more question? Anyone want to ask anything?
Dr. Rumpa? Dr. Chakraborty?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Dr. Conway again, and I would like to ask two folks to maybe share some thoughts. One is, we have Eleanor Steele on the line with us from the Rick and Susan Goings Foundation. And I would love for her to just talk about the connection, this idea of the ecosystem, or this connection, why a foundation from the United States would want to be involved with a program like the Global Links. And as Eleanor is sharing some thoughts with us, I want to give a heads up to some of the change makers, and that I would just like for them to share a moment or two, if there is still time after Eleanor speaks, to talk about how their working with the female entrepreneurs has helped their own development. Is that okay, Eleanor?
Yes, thank you, Mary, and thank you to everyone who's been on this fabulous call. We've been looking forward to this for a few weeks, and my greetings, and I also share greetings from Rick Goings, who unfortunately had a sports-related injury that has prohibited him from being on this call this morning. He's fine. He's just getting it checked out this morning, but in regards to the Rick and Susan Goings Foundation and our great desire to support Global Links, as Mary mentioned, it started a number of years ago, and Rick has been had a great vision for what can be accomplished through the Global Links initiative for women around the world, and for everything that you all have accomplished all the way up to today and the launch of this incredible handbook for India and the entrepreneurs there. It gives us great hope for the future. It gives us great hope in the power of women, the empowerment of women, and the power of entrepreneurship. And also to the men who are on this call and who are part of this initiative, we are so grateful for you, because as Mary has pointed out, you are a huge part of the ecosystem of this whole project, this whole initiative, because so many of the stakeholders are men, and we do need that he for she support from you as well, both in the academic world, in the entrepreneurial world, and in the lives of these change makers. So we see many connections, the ecosystem now that's gone from Iraq to India, to all of you there who are involved in this program. We are also grateful for the support of the Consul General and the Chamber there in India. And on to Brazil, and then as Mary shared, the vision for the future. It's our privilege at the Rick and Susan Goings Foundation to be the main support for this initiative over the next 5 years. We're counting on you, many of you, in so many ways to help us carry the flag, but you really actually are the flag bearers and the ones on the ground doing the bulk of the work. I send my own personal love and regards to each of you, to my change makers and scholars, and thank you to Mary for being such an incredible partner and driver of this initiative. So thank you so much for the opportunity just to share that.
Thank you, Eleanor. Now, if I can, Dr. Chakraborty, can we see if there are any of the students who want to say a few words? I think we have about 5 more minutes before we have to have our final thanks and closing words from the American Center. Would that be okay? Any students want to say anything?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Any students, anyone wants to volunteer?
Hello everybody, this is Arundita Roy here. I am a change maker of Global Links, and first of all, I'd like to congratulate everybody, the entire Global Links team, for what they have achieved today. I'm so happy to see my family growing like this. Like, like I am seeing my teachers, and I'm seeing volunteers come in every day, and new people are being impacted, and the Global Links family is growing. So that is one of the best feelings I have till now. And I'll just like to share something. Like, we all know that the students have learned a lot, but one thing which was very special to me was that we could pass on our knowledge to somebody else. That feeling itself was something which we do not usually get. Like, we were able to pass on our knowledge to our entrepreneurs, and we were also able to see the immediate effect and impact that it had on them, and that businesses over there. So that was a major motivation for us as students to continue our work and to keep moving forward. So that is something I'd like to share. And also a big thank you to everybody for giving us that platform to do something, whatever little bit we were able to do, to the entire Global Links team. And it is so great to see all of you after such a long time, ma'am. Everybody over here. So thank you very much for this opportunity today. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Arundipta. Thank you very much. And Global Link has got such a wonderful success because of you all. You all participated. You all joined your hands with us so that we get what we want to. So we have few more minutes left with us. So I'm just requesting you all to switch on your video mode so that we can have a group photo together. Hello, can you all please switch on the video mode?
So can you tell us when you're taking the picture, and then Rupam will want to take a picture from our side as well. And so Rupam, when you take your picture, can you also count to 3 so that we know that you're taking it? Thanks.
Yeah, sure. I'm just waiting for everyone to switch on their video. I think we can do it now. Let's count of 3, screen 1. 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you. I'll go over to the second screen now. 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you all.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rupam.
Thank you very much. So we are just to the end of the session. I would like to thank all of you. Especially, I want to give a special thanks to US Consulate Kolkata office for organizing such a wonderful session where we have got a chance to discuss everything, and we have got a chance to launch our handbook. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank all our eminent speakers, my change makers, and other students who have joined, and all the audiences for your patience hearing. And we would like to see Global Link in near future with flying colors. And we join hand in hand to work for Global Links. We are there with Global Links. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you also to everyone who joined us on Facebook. We're reaching about 3,000 people through our Facebook Live with about 140 engagements. So thank you to all of you as well. Thanks again for joining us. This is the end of the program, and so we're going to say goodbye. All right. And have a good morning if you're in the